Hey friends, May Flom here. We're in the studio and guess what? The curtain project is well underway. There's a lot going on. There's going to be a lot of steps to it, so I'm breaking this video down. Today, we've got the part one. So how I got this far, what's going on, what the plan is, what the next steps are. Let's dig in.
So I was in the car listening to a Chapel Roan song, and I got a very, very precise vision for exactly what I want these to be. So I'm just gathering some inspiration as well as these little Dolly Parton streamer banner things because I'm absolutely sure that this is going to work. And I'm just double checking some things, writing down some measurements, and then it's time to get out that fabric and start cutting.
Hey guys, we're in the studio, and you might notice behind me, you can see in the reflection on the glass on the closet, there's something hanging on my window. That is the fringe, and I just popped it up there. It's not perfect, but you know what? I don't think I want it to be perfect. I just popped it up there to see what are we looking like? What is the reality gonna be like? And I think the reality is going to be outstanding.
So this next part in the remainder of the video, there's very little to no thinking. 2 and 3 inch wide strips because I determined those are the widths that I want to see in decorative fabrics that I like. I am not trying to be super strict or matchy, just fabrics that I like. Use my ruler, use my rotary cutter, cut. All said and done, I cut like 130 strips of fabric, and then I sewed those together, most of those together. A couple of them, the cuts just weren't good, and I either tossed them or set them aside. But yes, cut all the strips first, then stitch all the strips together. So all I did at this point is I've sewn 2 strips, so like a pattern and a solid usually, together. And then the next step, of course, will be assembling, but we're not there yet. We're just cutting strips. This was an entire day. Well, actually, it was a couple hours. I guess it wasn't a full day. But this, as you can see, is quite the pile. And we were going, and I overdid it. And that's okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to pick up the fabrics. I'm putting them right side together so that I'm just stitching along the wrong side. After I do this, probably not going to make a video about it, but we'll see. But it's just going to be ironing them and then stitching them to each other. That part's going to take a while. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a big project because then there's all the mixed media elements I have in mind, all of the decorations. Oh my gosh, though, this is going to be the most fun, and I'm loving it.
So as you can see, I have my hands full with lots and lots of stuff to do here. You can see the reflection of even more. Essentially, this was I got up to the, and now we have to actually start thinking phase. Didn't have to think about the widths. I didn't have to think about what I'm cutting or how much I'm cutting. I think by my calculations, if I'm short, I'm only short by like 6 to 12 strips. I have 58, I believe I said, 58 strips. So 116 strips sewn together into 58 strips behind me. I think that's enough, but I'd rather stop and check because of the varying widths and everything. Let's check, let's get that sewn together and get into next steps before I go cutting more and getting ahead of myself on that end. So for today, for this week, the rest of the week, this is a project that needs chunks of time. I will get to stages like when I'm sewing stuff on or gluing rhinestones, that kind of thing. I will get to stages where I can do little chunks of time, but right now it's a big chunk of time kind of project. So it's done for this particular week, but I'm going to keep going and I'll keep giving you updates. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment or let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you think of my crazy curtain project.